The Couch Steals are brought to you by the VLG Studio, the community for people with a story to tell.
You're now tuned in to the Couch Stealers Anime Podcast.
What is going on, everyone? Y'all already know it's the Couch Stealers. Welcome back. It's the one and only Meister Mikey J.
And it's your boy AU.
AU, man, we done had some goodness drop in our laps over the last week and some change. How you living, man?
Yeah, we've been eating good. I ain't even gonna lie to you. We've been eating good. Like, and low key, there's a lot of little bangers out there right now that people are just kind of catching here on the side. Like, obviously we've had some juggernauts, but there's a lot of little bangers too.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of little bangers out here, bro. Like, Netflix just dropped one. You might not like the animation, but it's still it's a low key little banger. The one I forgot what it's called.
What, Laser Hawk?
It's like a samurai dude.
I've been hearing about that. Samurai. Oh, what's it called?
Let me see.
Off the top of my head. Nah, but I've been hearing about that. I actually was just watching something. We gonna get into some of the Netflix geek stuff, but I definitely I saw something about that yesterday. Someone was breaking down the animation. Pluto's the only thing that's coming to mind, but I know it's not Pluto because Pluto's something.
It's close to that, but I was just catching it. I caught the first 2 episodes, and I was like, "Oh shit, okay."
Yeah, no. Okay. I was about to say I've heard a lot of really kind of good things about it. It's like a samurai thing going on, right? Blue Eye Samurai.
Yeah, Blue Eye Samurai. That's it. Yep, Blue Eye Samurai.
I've been hearing some good things about Blue Eye Samurai.
I caught the first 2 episodes. Just I needed to throw something on while I was at work because work just been working. So I threw that on. I was like, "Oh shit, okay, bet." I like the main character. He's nothing special, but he's a good main character for the show.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, as far as low ones that have been kind of sneaking under the radar for this season, my biggest one definitely is Kingdom of Ruin, because Kingdom of Ruin it's just, you want to talk about tragic backstories. You want to talk about somebody that just keep watching people die around him. You want to talk about just tragic backstory with also one of the most justifiable reasons for wanting to absolutely destroy an entire kingdom that I have ever seen in my life. Yeah.
I mean, does it beat what is the name? Oh my god, the Amazon Dororo, the one you did not still finish?
It's on par with that. I'll be honest with you, it's on par with that. Yeah, no, it's on par with that justifiable. Like the difference with Dororo, which I admittedly do have to finish, it is so bad because I literally got 8 episodes left, bro. It's just every time I'm about to start it, I'm just like, nah, I'll do this another day.
Bro, nah, you gotta finish Dororo because
I know what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna body it in one day, and I
was so satisfied. Like you said, you know how sometimes you run into some shit, you yeah, I'm happy this nigga done killed everybody. Justifiable as fuck.
Yeah, that's how Kingdom of Ruin feel. I'm not gonna.
Okay, I gotta catch that then. I gotta catch you some Kingdom of Ruin. I need some justifiable destruction.
I'm gonna tell you right now. By the end of the first episode, the first thing out your mouth, you gonna text me. I already know what you gonna text me. You gonna be like, "Yeah, everybody gotta go." You gonna text me? You literally be like,
sometimes everybody gotta go.
Yeah, everybody gotta go.
Okay,
you gonna be like, everybody there gotta go.
Everybody gotta die. Pew pew. Everybody gonna die.
Yo, speaking of everybody gotta die. We gotta go to Attack on Titan, bro. We gotta go do Attack on Titan.
Oh, shout out we have to.
Titan. The finale is here. The finale has happened.
Happened. Yeah.
Happened. Yes. And a lot of people died.
I'm gonna let you go first because I'm gonna let you riff. I'm gonna let you do your thing. We're gonna talk because I feel like what I have to say is not gonna be a banger to most people, but I don't have much to say. I'm not gonna lie to you. But we kind of touched base on a little bit through text, but let's dig into it. Let's get it.
Easy. Best anime ending I have seen maybe since Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. That's how I feel about it. 10 out of 10 ending. The thing with Attack on Titan that messed with me was the fact how long they took to take it out, to bring it out. And I know we've touched on that before. A lot of people, the whole community done touched on that before, was the fact that it took them way too many times. Part 3 of part 6 of episode 2 of part 1 of it took too long to get to where we are. But once we got there, once we sat down and we understood, and I've always been Team Eren. I ain't gonna hold you. I am still Team Eren Shout out Team Aaron. Shout out Team Jaeger. Shout out all the Jaegerists. I'm still Team Aaron. I'm a 10 toes down, boy. What you mean? So I am still a fan of Aaron Jaeger. We are going to get into spoilers, so I'm just going to say that right now. Spoiler alert for everybody that hasn't watched it. If you haven't watched it, I'm sorry, because this is your spoiler alert.
Yeah, nah, hold on. You had a whole week.
Yeah, we getting into a lot of it.
You had a whole week.
Your spoiler alert. I knew he had to die. I did. I knew he had to die.
Oh, he definitely had to die. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He had to die.
The thing that I enjoyed the most was the fact that they tied up not loose end, but they tied up every end. Ends that we didn't even know were loose. Everyone got their moment to justify why they were doing this. Everyone got their moment to sit there and be like, you know what? This is why I'm fighting. This is why I'm trying to stop him. This is why I'm trying to do this. And yet they did it in a way that felt like a war. That felt like a battle before. That felt like a battle for the world. That's what that felt like. That whole episode felt like a battle for the world. Well, not the whole episode, because the second half was after the aftermath. But
yeah,
everything I loved Aaron being able to sit back and talk with Mikasa and with Armin. That's one of my favorite parts. That's my second favorite part of the entire episode. My favorite part of the entire episode.
Liked it, but I was disappointed in that.
I felt
like Mikasa got hold in her portion of it. Like, for her to be as integral of a character within this whole entire show, and then for the whole entire show to literally end because it had to be Mikasa, she got hold for screen time. That's my own personal opinion. Armin got way more screen time than Mikasa did.
Because I think Armin was more important by the end.
No, how is he more important than the person who was literally the reason why, like, Eren stops and Yumi, or however you say her name, doesn't continue on, like, trying to destroy the world and keep.
Well, it was the love between Mikasa and Eren is what was like.
That's what stopped it.
Yeah, that's what stopped Ymir from wanting to go any further, because of the fact that she loved the king for some reason. I don't know.
Pissed me off. So,
yeah, that didn't make no type of sense, bro.
0 sense.
He made y'all kids eat you. Like, he made y'all kids eat you. Come on, like that's a lot, but. I get the fact that love story between Mikasa and Eren was like, you know, the love that we never got to see, very Shakespearean in that way. I thought Armin was more important to not only the battle, to Eren's, I don't want to say Eren's development, but I think he was just as important as Mikasa, if not more so. No, I'll say just as important. I'll take it back. I'll say just as important.
Yeah, not more so. Not more so.
Yeah, definitely just as important.
If you want to argue that they're equally as important, I can live with that argument. I can live with that debate 100%. Like, I have no qualms about that. But like I said, he still got way more screen time than she did.
Mm-hmm. I mean, would you want to see
and by screen time, I mean just like getting that backstory of like knowing that Eren had spoke to them and like walked them through their lives and whatnot, all of that. Like, Mikasa's felt so small and insignificant compared to Armin's. And like, he loved her and he admitted that he was just a little bitch. You know what I mean? And she obviously always loved him. She was always a ride or die. So like, at minimum, bro, they could have given us like a hug, a kiss, or something to just. I
was about to say, you trying to see them knocking
that
boots?
To her. Like, yeah, let him say that, bro. Like, I don't know, clap them imaginary cheeks or something, bro. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what that world was and whatever, but like, there had to be some type of love, like, to be displayed for Mikasa. And like, I was disappointed in that. I felt like she got hold.
That's wild. He imaginarily clapped Mikasa cheeks, so that take her for the rest of her life. Just that one memory.
Should have been good. If he wanted her to mourn for 10 years, he should at least clap some imaginary cheeks.
Yo, that's crazy. But in totality, from everyone, my favorite moment of the entire episode was at the end after they stopped Eren, when everyone saw like everyone that had died. Like, when Levi was sitting there, that part when Levi saw everyone and they saluted him and then they faded away and Levi was sitting there holding that salute. Like, I did this video. That tear came down. Bro, and then they showed my potato girl. Oh my God. Then they showed my potato girl to Connie.
Bro, I cried.
I cried too. I cried too.
Bro, like, I was not emotional at all this whole entire episode. When she popped up on that fucking screen, I could not stop. Like, I just sobbed for like a solid like 3 minutes. I paused the episode and everything. I was like, oh fuck.
Bro, I just and
Abby, you piece of shit.
That's what I'm
saying. Hell. Ain't no redemption for you, you fucking little bitch. If I was there, I would have stomped you the fuck out. Like, nah, bro. Hell no. Fuck
that's
Gabby.
That's the funny thing you bring up with all that hate towards Gabby, because in all the people, because I got this moment right after they showed Sasha, and all the people that didn't survive to the end, that's the one that hurts the most. Like, her death hurt the most for me, more so than everybody, because I think everybody else's death was like shock factor, like, oh my god, and
it was shock factor, but it's also they went out. You get what I'm saying? I feel like they had the opportunity to go out. My baby girl just got blown the fuck away by a sniper rifle from God knows how far. Like, I'm pissed.
Yeah, I still say the worst thing that they did on that blimp was not absolutely duffing Gabby out more than they did, because they clapped her. They was bang bang bang, but it still felt like it
been
wasn't
looking like Dave Chappelle on the couch as fucking as I can't even think right now because I'm so mad, bro. As fucking
the Rick James,
Rick James, bro. She would have been walking like that the rest of her life.
Nah,
ain't no
bro.
way. I would have spinals her. Like, ain't no way, cuz. Crippling
come up with that crazy Kang. Remember that Kang kick from like the trailer with Kang?
Yes.
I needed one of those. Like, that's
one
what
of those, boy. Nah, man.
But I still say this: Attack on Titan, even through all the delays and however long it took, I love the finale. I was a very big fan of the finale. I was a big fan of everything that went down. I was a big fan of the way that they broke the whole story down, because of the fact that we got to the point of no return. We got to the point of no return. Like 80%, my boy, 80% of the world gone, bro. Gone. And again, it shouldn't have been talking shit. Should have been trying to start a fight that you couldn't win. That's, hey, shout out all Jaegerists. But I still think that they humanized Eren in a way that, even though this was very, and
they had to literally make him just be this selfish piece of shit in order to humanize and somewhat make it feel as though what he did was justifiable. And that was the only way they could have done it.
So I was watching, I think it was your boy Roshi, and shout out to them, and they made mention of it, and this was perfect. This is it was very Code Geass in that way, where like Eren was Lelouch and like had to quote unquote sacrifice himself through everything, which I thought was a pretty good point, because of the fact that
Go ahead.
You said what?
Hated that, but go ahead.
I did too, but it's still good storytelling. That's how I look at it. It's still really good storytelling, and I think that even though we got to the end, we saw everything that happened. You know, Mikasa had to be the one to do the deed. And even Armin coming out and seeing Mikasa just holding him and just like bang that moment. Like, I still think that at the end of the day, Eren not only was justified in what he did, it got results. Now, granted, them results only lasted a couple, maybe 100, maybe 1,000 years. We don't know, because if you watch the very end of the AOT finale, they just showed.
Yeah, I wish they didn't. I didn't need that.
I loved it.
I didn't love that because, like, I was already, and this is where I'll kind of jump in on my side of it a little bit. I was dissatisfied with the ending. Maybe a portion of that was definitely how long they took for everything. And I think maybe the hype for me really kind of went to a lull. Now, will I sit here and say it was a bad ending? No, I will never just be like, oh, it was a bad ending because I was dissatisfied by it. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to like something in order to recognize that as great. Like, you don't have to think LeBron is like the best of all time to recognize that he is, no matter which way you look at it, top 2. Like, it's not a debate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, shout out Vinland Saga.
Fuck Vinland Saga, or rather just Thorfinn. I just fucking hate Thorfinn. Vinland Saga is still amazing. It's still a great show. And that's my point. You know what I mean? So I was dissatisfied with the ending. I just was not satisfied with how that went down. Like, I didn't like the reason behind everything. Her being in love with a nigga that just like literally ruined her. She was a slave. Like, why do you love this person, etc.? Like, I just 2,000 years, bro. Like, nah, I couldn't. For it to be that for that to be the reason, I was just like, nah, that shit turned me off. I'm not gonna lie to you, it turned me off. Still good, like you said, still overall they wrapped up everything I think the best way they possibly could. But I just didn't like it. I did not like that.
So if you scale 1 to 10, what would you have to put it on?
What, the ending? Again, overall, it was still a very good ending. So I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9 ending. Because I think they, like you said, like you touched on, everybody got their moments. You know what I mean? And not everybody normally gets their moments when we talk about wrapping something up that's been going on this long too. You know what I mean? Obviously they had some great directional like sequences. Like, yo, when Levi jumped off of that motherfucker, bro. Oh my god. You just see him just going through all the fucking rocks and just going through all this shit, and like that was one take, which was crazy. Like that was mind blowing. So like they had some amazing fight sequences. Everybody got their little endings and whatnot. You know, I cried at one point. Like I think again, it was still an overall very strong ending. Like I can't. The only thing I can complain about is that I was just personally subjectively dissatisfied with how it ended. I didn't like the Ymir thing. I felt like Mikasa got hoed. And I know you liked the ending where you just see everything kind of happen. That shit, I was like, Jesus Christ, this nigga did all of this shit for nothing. The whole world blew the fuck up for nothing. So therefore, it's just like, nigga.
But it wasn't just.
It doubles. It makes. I'm sorry. Just one last little tidbit. It really helps me double down on like, nigga, why are you doing this, Aaron? Like,
shout out Aaron Yeager. Shout out Aaron Yeager, all the Yeagers. So here's the thing, 2 things. One, it wasn't just the whole world that got blown up, it was just Paradise Island, and part of that was because the Yeagers continued to
No, definitely not just Paradise Island, bro. You don't drop a nuke. You don't drop a nuke, my boy. And
you want to know why I know it was Paradise Island? Because where was Aaron buried? On Paradise Island underneath the tree.
I know, but that's one thing that got blown up. I understand that. I'm not saying Paradise Island did not get blown up. I'm just saying if you drop nuclear bombs, you think that's the only one that gets dropped?
No. I completely understand what you're saying, but from our vantage point, we can only confirm that Paradise Island is the one that got blown up because of where it was. I also think that it's all just a little bit of history repeating, because that little boy that was walking into the tree at the end was absolutely about to go see the ghost of Aaron Yeager.
I was low key thinking the same shit, and I was like, does Aaron somehow become the new Ymir, and then like he's like the first start of it all again? That little boy, like maybe he's like Mikasa's like, I don't know,
like great
grandson, and somehow got drawn back into this motherfucker.
They went all the way from like, by the end it was like you said, nuclear weapons and like giant towers and like flying cars and all that joint. I don't know if I saw a flying car, but I'm just no,
there were definitely ships.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like spaceships or whatever. At least things like that. Maybe not spaceships, but there was definitely shit flying around in the
so sky. They got blown all the way back to the Stone Age when my man
literally
with the little wicker basket full of
like cans and shit, like from God knows how long ago. Like, yeah, nah. They got blown back into the Stone Age. Remember Godzilla? Did you watch Godzilla? When my boy was like, they are hiding something from us, and whatever it is, it's gonna blow us back into the Stone Age.
Wait, is that from the new Godzilla?
Yeah, like that's from the new Godzilla. I think I'm pretty sure it was the first Godzilla where Bryan Cranston was.
That is the first Godzilla. I pushed that one to the back of my mind because of all the times they kept hitting us with that little like invincible thing, like when they're just like, oh, he's gonna be invincible, and they slapped the title screen on. They kept doing that with Godzilla fighting, so every time we about to see a Godzilla fight and the door would close and now we're on to a new scene, and I hated that, and I will always hate that Godzilla movie for that, because I only got one big Godzilla, I only got one big kaiju fight, and I was tight about it. I wanted to see more kaiju. That's why I love King of Monsters. That's why I love Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Because first Godzilla, he fought like 3 different. He fought.
We never saw it.
He fought the first one, and then he fought the 2. I just rewatched them.
The door always closes.
I just rewatched them. I literally just rewatched them.
Then maybe I'll go back and rewatch. But I just remember telling you,
I just rewatched them like yesterday. All 3 of them.
All 3 of them. Damn, you had mad time. Because that's a long little thing. So I look at AOT and I look at
I was about to say. I just meant more like I started watching them the other day and then like I finished them.
When I look at AOT and I look at the way that everything came together, I am perfectly fine with the way that they brought the ending. It is a very strong way to wrap up a very, very powerful story. I just think that the only thing I had a question on was who was Historia's kid. Because
that I feel like that's just one of those things where it's like it's gonna be up in the air. Like he wants us to just think about it.
Can you imagine if it is Aaron's? Aaron's out here clapping Historia's cheeks, but he can't get Mikasa's? Like, that's crazy. Like, I mean, that's crazy.
My thing about it is, when would he have had the time?
I don't know. That's my question too.
That's why I know it's not. That's at least in my heart. I don't believe it's Aaron's, because like, when would he have legitimately had the time to do that?
I don't know. When he was getting ready to, I mean, maybe one day he, actually, I'll tell you when he could have. When he went away. Before the start of this,
I was thinking that too. That's the only
time. That's the only time. That's the only time where he was like away from Mikasa and Armin enough, where like him, like, creeping in the night with Historia could have happened. That's just my personal, my personal views on it. Let me ask you, where does AOT rank in the GOAT conversation for you? Because it's not far off, but I don't know if I can put it firm. Like, it's in my top 10. Like, and now I've always said that.
Yes.
I needed to see how they wrapped it up.
Is definitely in my top 10. Mm-hmm. I don't think it touches my top 5. It does come close to my top 5. Mm-hmm. I don't think it'll ever even get into my top 5. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But like, it can definitely circulate between that 10 to 5. Yeah, or 5 to 10 rather. I think, again, I think the lengthiness of how everything happened with it really just it made me lose a lot for it. And maybe I go back and rewatch it all. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm definitely going to rewatch it.
The only reason I may not rewatch it all is because a lot of the reason, like, I really also enjoyed Attack on Titan was like that suspense of not knowing and waiting to see what was going to happen, and you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Some things for me personally, a lot of
what is going on around here.
Yeah, like sometimes some things for me are just, they are as they are, and I don't need to go back and redo it. Like, I had it, I watched it, I enjoyed it, loved it, whatever it was, and it's like, okay, and that's it. Like, it has its place. I don't think AOT has a lot of rewatch a bit, like, for me personally. It doesn't mean that it isn't a GOAT. If someone has it in their top 5, I understand. You get what I'm saying? If you say it's your GOAT, like, I understand. I get it. I understand all arguments. But for me, no. It's I saw it, enjoyed it, loved it. It can go to rest now.
See, it's in my top 10. I'm similar with you, where it's like in that 5 to 10 range, probably like 6 or 7, to be completely honest. But when I think of Attack on Titan and the rewatchability of it, I'm actually kind of excited to go back and rewatch it, because for the exact same reasons that you mentioned, I like it. I like being able to see where all the tangle webs we weave started at. You know what I mean? I like seeing,
you get to kind of see it, like, oh, like,
oh shit, that's like the motivation why they got thrown against a tree and she was spinning that dude. I still can't get over. Like, I was happy to see the Annie fighting in her Titan form again, because we had
I was happy to see that, because she just disappeared for damn near all the show.
but I'll say this: you want to know what part made me laugh, and I had to pause the episode? Wasn't even just the fact when they was chasing down.
I got a feeling I know what you're gonna say, but go ahead.
I'm not talking about, and I'm not. It's not the part where they were chasing down the one dude, the one Titan that captured Armin. Then they couldn't tell what kind of animal it was. That was a really funny.
That was
that was a really funny, lighthearted moment. I had to Google it. Apparently, it's like the African, like, giraffe or something like that. It's like a mix between like a horse and a donkey and a giraffe.
Motherfucker's a giraffe, boy.
It's a giraffe. No, but my part, what was so funny was when she was in the armor Titan and had her full on Shinji Ikari moment, bro, when they was holding back like the little tentacle worm thing that came out of Eren that started this whole thing that created the Titan gene, and they were like, all the Titans were holding it down and fighting it, and it cut to Peak, who actually was the MVP. I think Peak and Reiner were low-key the MVPs.
Yes,
they were low-key the MVPs. 100%.
They were definitely the MVPs. I mean, Levi did what he could. Like, he saved. Was it Gene or Connie? It was Gene.
It was Connie. He saved
Connie, right?
Yeah, he saved Connie.
Connie still ended up, that shit fucked me up. I didn't like that.
When they became Titans,
I was like, and they was just like, damn, nigga,
bro. After all of this how
we like. After all of this shit, bro, I don't even just die, nigga. I get turned into a fucking special Titan.
Yo, like, I loved it. I loved it. I can't lie. I loved it. That was one of my favorite parts, because it's like, yo, it really feels like the final battle. Like, regardless, and I just love the way they went out. They was like, yo, man. They like looked at each other and was like, yo, man, like we did it, bro. Like, we didn't do it, but we did our best, and that's all we can ask. Let's do this, bro. Like, they went out with some G's, and like compared to where Gene started to where he ended, Gene's progression as a character was so great. Connie felt like throwing sometimes.
Yeah, I felt like Connie was definitely like he got off in the wayside kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like his storylines were cool, and it was nice to see Connie be there. But like, there were certain times where Connie, I'm like,
he got Naruto side character.
Yeah, like very much. So he was a liability at certain points in that fight. I can't lie to you.
He was 100%.
But going back to my Annie point was when she had her Shinji Ikari moment, everybody's holding down the giant tentacle worm thing, and it cut to Reiner, and Reiner's like, yeah, we got this. I'm holding on to dear life. It cut to Peak. Peak's like, yeah, I'm in here. I'm doing this. We going over here. Bro, it cut to Eddie. Eddie was like, I was like, yo, she's having a full-on Shinji Ikari. I don't want to be here. Why am I fighting this thing? Oh my God. And that part cracked me up to no end. I had to pause the episode because I was laughing because I was like, bro, I have seen that look before. And it was in a dude who wouldn't just get into the mud-loving robot. So I put AOT's ending. I put AOT in its totality as a masterpiece. I think it is a masterpiece anime. I think it is the closest thing. I won't say closest thing, but it reminded me of anime that we grew up watching in the sense of like when it had the long run, full story, fully encompassed, like hit all the points. You know, we left with like questions and pain and fear and this and that. Like the ride was so amazing. So for that, I definitely think AOT is in that like 9.5, 10 territory for me. And I think the ending was a 10 out of 10. I do. I think the ending was a 10 out of 10. I think they hit a bunch of the things that they needed to hit. They did it in a way that still raised the stakes. They did it in a way that still felt like the world was complete. I actually was reading, because remember when the AOT ending came out in the manga and people were like hated it?
Yeah, they cleaned up a lot of things, I guess, in the anime. Maybe not a lot. Yeah. They cleaned up a few things apparently that were like, you know, misconstrued in like the manga in the anime. But I still feel like the reason behind all of this shit for it to just be her being in love with this nigga, bro, and then her just waiting for somebody to show her what love is, like, suck my dick, bro. Like, I couldn't deal with that. So again, I still think it was a very strong ending, but I was dissatisfied 100%. That ending is not a 10 out of 10 for me. I think the ending was like an 8. But the overall show's a 9.
What was the comedian that was like, every war has started because of some
pussy? I forgot who it was. Every war started because of some pussy.
Somebody tried to avenge some of it. They trying to get it. They trying to capture it. They trying to come back for it. They trying to fight. Like in this was funny because it reminded me a little bit of that, at least to your point. But I loved it, and I want to say, you know, shout out to everybody that had anything to do with AOT for bringing that to us. This peak fiction to us. So shout out. And yeah, I got no complaints, bro. I got no complaints whatsoever. Any last thoughts you want to do on AOT? Because I want to get to this JJK. I can't hold
it. I'm good on AOT. Like I said, I didn't have much for AOT. Like as much as everybody else was, and I'm happy everybody enjoyed it. You know, I'm happy it did come on. I'm happy it did finish strong. They took too long for me. I think it took too long for everybody, but yeah, that's about it.
Well, I'll say this. The thing that I read the most was that their context that was given in the anime that wasn't given in the manga, which is why the anime felt more complete than it did in the manga. Because I said and we'll get into our hot take question from this past week. We'll do this week's hot take because it's so AOT relevant. And a lot of people felt the same. So, but yo, I gotta get into this JJK, bro. I must, because what the WTF is going on in Shibuya. And when Fushiguro said that, and I remember sitting back and being like, you know what? This man right, because I don't know what's going on. There's just chaos.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
So much fucking like unaccounted for shit right now in this Shibuya arc. It is insane. First and foremost, this nigga realizing that was his son. And then being like, damn, I can't kill this nigga. And then just stabbed his fucking self in the head. I was like, oh, fuck, bro. What? How?
You think that's what that was? Because I didn't like that moment. I was literally like, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't, because he was such a beast character that I would have wanted to see him fight more. Like, I would have rather him like go off and run away from fighting his son to go fight somebody else, as opposed to like him just being like, all right, that's my son. This is cool. I'm out.
It was
like,
completed. Like, that's why they gave the flashback of like him talking about his son or whatever, and like him being like not like the chosen one, but saying he's got the bloodline, he's special, he's got everything he needs. Like, you get what I'm saying? So my thing was, if he like continue fighting his son or something like that and it killed him, what was the point of that flashback? So like and like I think for him, like he already had his time. Like, you know what I mean? I think he came back one more time, like unwillingly, first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? The nigga got summoned. Like, so we can't sit there and act like he wanted to be there. The nigga died. I think he was good. Like, he seemed like the type of person, or like where it's just like they understand and like they're satisfied with how things went. You know what I mean? Like, he died on his hill.
Yeah. So Toji, the thing with him for me was that I didn't love that he did kind of just like, all right, that's my son, I'm out. But to your point, he did have his time, he did have his moments, and so he is seen as, all right, I'm gonna pass this off to the next gen. I'm gonna let my son handle my light work type deal. But that light work in the form of Sukuna ain't no light work, bro. See, he my favorite character. He my favorite character right now. He my favorite character in the show by a lot. And if that's only like, let's say, half his power,
I don't know it's definitely not all of his power. I don't know how much it is, but I wouldn't say it's just half. I think it's definitely probably a little bit more than that for sure.
Well, Jogo gave him what, 8, 9 fingers?
He said he's probably you're probably about as strong as 8 or 9 of his fingers, and that's being generous.
Yeah.
How many fingers does this nigga have? That's the question, I guess.
I think we're somewhere in like there's 20 fingers between fingers and toes, so that's 20. So I think we're somewhere in like the 12 range, 12, 14 range. I think that's because they just gave him like 10. They just gave him legit just like, because remember he had the scroll, so they gave him like 10, and then to that point Itadori had already swallowed like 3. So I think he's somewhere in like that 12, 14.
I want to look it up, but I also don't want to spoil anything.
I don't want to spoil nothing. That's what I'm thinking.
For myself, so I'm gonna sit here and just leave it on. Like, I'm gonna leave it on go for now. So I don't want to spoil shit for myself, but I don't know. I feel like his power definitely has to be more than half right now. Like, there's no way it's just half. But it was interesting. I got a lot of similarities from Gojo and Sukuna. I think they're 2 peas in a fucking pod, if you ask me personally. They're just 2 peas in a fucking pod, bro. He stands on that God complex.
Yeah, but
he stands on that. He stands on business.
When you you can absolutely tell that Sukuna has never come up against anyone that could even get close to him as far as power level. So if you know you are that much stronger than every other being that is around you, you are going to feel like a god. You are going to have. I also
did love that moment that he had with Jogo, where he's like, bro, I fought a lot of motherfuckers, cuz don't fret, nigga, you were strong.
I'm glad they gave him that
shit
moment.
Hit me. I ain't gonna lie to you, because Jogo, bro, he was 10 toes down in his mission, man. He died on it. He died on that hill.
It's not only the fact he was so 10 toes down on his mission. I think they gave us context for Jogo's character. One, I didn't realize he was the leader of all the other special rank demons or special rank curses. I didn't realize he was that high up.
I think he was the leader.
I didn't think he was the leader. I thought it was just all of them.
I don't. Yeah, that's what I think it was. I think it was just all of them, but I do think he was the strongest. You get what I'm saying? He's obviously the strongest, but I don't think he was the leader per se. I think it was just like, we abandoned niggas, and like I don't think any of them looked at each other like so human. You know how it's like it's a band of niggas and somebody got to be on top. I don't think they looked at it like that. Nobody
they had a round table.
They had a round table, man. Like like there was no big seat at the end of it. It was just a round table. That's how I looked at their relationship.
So one thing I'll say about not only just their relationship, but Jogo's character as a whole, because it hit me as I was watching this past episode when his fight against Sukuna, was that we've seen Jogo get bodied. But every time we see him fight and get body, he's fighting like the strongest person.
The strongest people, for sure.
It's like fighting this. And so, like, as that fight was happening, I was like, you know what? I can say this. Jogo is really strong. Because even though he loses, and he loses every time. But even though he loses, he's in the fight. He is in the fight.
Like hold on. I'm not gonna say he's in the fight, but he's got his toe in the water for sure. It's not like it's just like, you know what I mean? He's got his toe in the water for sure, but like, you know what I mean? Like, my thing is,
fight people doing cannonballs with a toe in the water.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, he was dealing with motherfuckers who was doing cannonballs, and he was just dipping his toe. Like, he was on the outskirts chilling, trying to mind his business, and everybody else was splashing water on him. But at the end of the day, he was still in the pool. You get what I'm saying? Even if it was just the toe, he was still in the pool. Yeah. But what the fuck was I about to say? Fuck.
Jogo, his fighting other people who are really stronger than him, but he's still standing 10 toes down on his principle, on the thing he want, on the thing he trying to get.
I forgot. I lost it. But if it comes back, it comes back. But yeah, I agree with you. I really love that they gave him some backstory and just kind of like just a little bit more character depth in such a short period of time too. Jogo, like, we're talking about him like kind of dipping his toe in the water, always fighting these strong ass people. I think that's where we have to credit JJK's writing as well, in the direction that they're going in with the fights, etc. Because for them to be able to display that, for us to be able to just debate that and talk about like how strong he is, even while fighting these monsters, like, that's really well done.
Yeah,
I think that's just really well done. They constantly somehow keep the stakes and in a place where it's like, oh shit. Like how many times can I sit here and be like, oh shit? You know what I mean? Like, and it keeps happening. So credit to them on that.
The writing has already been great, and honestly, I know folks talked about Shibuya Incident being JJK's like, crowning achievement, and it feels that way now because as I'm looking around at all the stuff that has just happened, and we've been here for, half a season at this point, I think we still got like 8 or 9 episodes left. So the amount of stuff that can happen in 8 or 9 episodes is still crazy. But the only thing that I'll say that JJK has done and cemented it as far as like the fighting and everything has been the power scaling, because I think that the power scaling is very simple. It's Sukuna and it's Gojo. However you want to put it, however you want to do 1 and 1 and 2, 1 and 1A, 1A, 1B, whatever you want to do it. Everybody's chasing after those two when it comes to power level. And it's like just trying to keep everyone underneath from that point. I will also say part of the one part of this episode that I love was,
and that's called stable power scaling, people.
Oh, yes, it is.
You know what I mean? Like, yes. you have your pinnacle, you have the things that you look up to, and then everyone else under it, like you said, they're just struggling, fighting in between. Like, oh, he got up above him. Oh, shit, he's not as strong as him. Whatever. Agreed. Love that.
You ain't trying to scream and get to the next power level?
Maybe. It was gonna help.
I might be. Yo.
I might be.
That is forever gonna be like my favorite Kodak Black moment. Oh no, but I'll say this too about JJK. One part that I loved was getting Ghetto's team, like seeing that moment with Ghetto's team of like who's gonna carry on his pride, who's gonna carry on his legacy, and the two girls that was like, nah, we about to just go get him back. Like his dream is done, but like I ain't gonna let no zombie go around here or no curse spirit go around here and take
whatever the fuck you is. You ain't gonna violate my boy.
See, my only thing is like I gotta look up what her like phone power is. I know Sukuna explained it, but it still don't make no sense to me, bro. Like her phone power, it looks so
OP.
It looks so corny though. Like when they was getting ready to have that,
look corny, but it also kind of seemed OP. Like I guess, like I want to look it up.
When they was getting ready to have that standoff moment though, like and like everybody's pulling out blades, and she said phone. I was like, yo, you'll get out my face with that.
I don't know, bro. Like everybody curse spirit is different. Like everybody fucking techniques and powers are just very different. And I think that also kind of like brings in such a refreshingness for JJK. Like just seeing everyone's powers be just truly just different. You know what I mean? There are definitely a lot of times, like, not for nothing, not even hating on Naruto, obviously. Like, Naruto is a fucking GOAT. Not even because Big 3 is just a GOAT. There are definitely times where I rewatch Naruto in the past, and I'm like, it's all kind of the same. You know what I mean? If it's an Earth Jutsu nigga, whether it's a dragon or just a big rock, is just, it's still just like a big ass rock, whether it's alive looking or just a big ass boulder coming at you to just bash your head in.
Well, I also think that that to that point, Naruto offered a little less imagination with the world because of the fact it's a ninja world, because of the fact that everybody uses like elemental jutsus in that way, or has like their elemental, what was it, like their spirit beast or something like that? I don't remember.
Spirit beast. Jesus Christ.
I just remember that Naruto's was wind and Sasuke's was lightning and fire. That's truly all.
No, it's just like affinities for nature, essentially.
Yeah, affinities for nature. Let's go with that. I like spirit beast too, but affinities for nature just sounds a lot more academic. But I think that's the points that when JJK is able to have a lot more imagination with it, like a cell phone or like a hammer. Because I've talked so much junk about old girls' attacks, even though everything she does looks so cool, but she really just walking around beating people with
a hammer and nails. Like basically, when you think about it, she just got a nail gun.
Yo, but like, give her a nail gun then. Don't just give her like I look at it.
No, but it's cooler if she beating the nail with a hammer and making it do that shit. Versus
I know.
Also, fuck that fucking piece of shit nigga, bro. That little blonde nigga. I thought he was dead.
He's weird. You
fucking loser.
Yeah, the blonde dude is weird. The one that Nanami grabbed by the hair that had all the anime girls losing they got doggone mind.
Fuck that nigga. Yeah. He punched that nigga all the way the fuck out. Like that was the equivalent to like the Hulk beating Loki head into the fucking ground. Like we didn't see him for like an episode or two. And then,
we didn't see him for that happened like 3 weeks ago. That happened like 3 weeks ago.
Like an episode or two. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's been a minute. Like he been gone. Like, and now he's just back.
Yeah. I will say that I love the Ghetto Sama stuff that we got to see. I will say this too: the dude running around with Panda that don't want to go nowhere and fight nothing. Hilarious,
bro. Hilarious. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Mob's fucking
yes. Okay. Because I couldn't think of who he reminded me of either, but he reminded me of someone, and it was annoying me because I was sitting here saying, I was like, why everything of him not wanting to go nowhere? Was it Reagan or Reagan?
Yeah.
Reagan. Thank you, Reagan. That's who he reminds me of because it's very much like I have to be here and I have to do this, but I really don't want to. And I'm gonna find every other excuse.
He's like, wait, I did this. All right, this is gonna be my next excuse. Nigga, like he was dead ass, just like fuck this,
bro.
Like, I don't want to die. When he said, "Well, you know what? I also don't want to get murdered. So how about we just have a long conversation?"
Like he's a fun character, I hope he sticks around for a while because he's a fun character. Yo, AU man, we about to slide, but last two things I did want to touch on. Just because we mentioned before, the Netflix Geeks weekend is here, and Netflix is getting ready to drop a bunch of heat. Great Pretenders is coming back. They're making an announcement on next Saturday at Anime NYC. I'm hyped about that because Great Pretenders is fire. But also, Blood of Zeus is coming back in 2024.
Finally, bro. They took too long on Blood of Zeus, though. My hype train kind of feel like is lacking a little bit. I hope they could really keep up. I felt like Blood of Zeus should have came back a little bit sooner, personally. But
I got to go back and rewatch Blood of Zeus.
Yeah, I remember liking it, but now I definitely got to like watch it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, Arcane coming back in November 2024.
Thank God, finally.
I think they're gonna still stick with like the Jace
they should
lie story.
But I think what they should do is just continue on that path and just expand the world and connect everything versus like having it be different stories within the world. Just have it all kind of end up being simultaneous. So I feel like,
connect as opposed to
like it's all one world. So let it all be one world. Like we know League of Legends. You get what I'm saying? We know League of Legends.
Yeah,
we all know this is all the same world. And now I would love to see the show actually connect all of that because in League of Legends they on a battleground, like we know they here, you get what I'm saying, but we know people are at war with each other, etc. I want to see how all that actually happens.
Yeah, and for y'all that don't know, Arcane hits very close to home for AU and myself because we have been playing League for a very, very long time. We're playing League
long time,
like 10 plus years now. We started playing League back in college, so shout out Guti. But yeah, no, I need to see the Noxus Ionian war. That's where I'm at with it. Like that for me needs to be the next thing after they're done with Piltover Zon. Because for everyone that doesn't play League, Piltover Zon, AU, where would you put that like tier? I would put that like middle tier as far as like the stuff that's going on in the League world. I think Noxus Ionian War is the number one for me right now. I think that's like the biggest thing.
The Void has always been the biggest thing.
Yeah, because the Void's just random stuff happening. You never know.
It's not random. It's just like these motherfuckers are invading the world slowly but surely, and there are only a few people who actually are looking at this shit and be like, bro, we're getting invaded. like Cassidy, nigga, Kaisa, like, bro, we're getting invaded, and y'all niggas over here fighting separate wars.
Meanwhile, little Kazakh's over here just munching on people.
Bro, it's crazy. Like Rise is like, I gotta protect these scrolls. You're like, get the fuck away from me. Like,
yo, I gotta protect these scrolls. That's crazy because that really is Rise's character. And for everybody that don't know Rise was the character in Arcane that saved Jason and his mom. Hit him with that Rise ulti and got them up out of there. But no, I'm hyped for that too. But what did you think of the and this is the last thing and then we'll go to the hot take and slide, but what did you take away from the Avatar Last Airbender teaser trailer?
You know me how I feel about live action, so I'm gonna leave that where it is. I'm not even gonna go into that. It does look good. I think Netflix might be on to something now with a live action. I'm not gonna
figured it out. I think
they might have figured it out. I for what it's worth, I think they might have fucking figured it out. I mean, they had to run through a lot of motherfucking shit and ruin it. But I think they fucking figured it out.
So bad.
I think the casting, thank God they didn't do what they did last time. Mm-hmm. They clearly have people of like some type of native descent or just closely relating or getting as closely related as they could to like the actual characters in Avatar. So I'm very happy with the casting from what it looked like. I know some people are a little upset. They're like, oh, they still look a little white.
Sokka too white, bro. Sokka too white. I'm sorry.
But the nigga's still like, you can't, but he might be too white. But if the nigga's Native American, what the fuck you gonna say? You get what I'm saying? It's like, you can't be mad at this nigga for being a white, like kind of looking Native American. If he's still Native American, he's still Native American. Like,
yeah, but I mean, my only thing with that, and to your point, I do think that they did a really great job with characters and the way that they got the characters looking and feeling and everything. And I do think that they have someone in the room. I think actually the creators of Avatar were working on this, Brian and Michael. I think they are in that, like, working on it. But I just think that with that being one of the biggest pushbacks that you got from the M. Night Shyamalan debacle was that they whitewashed the entire cast. To have somebody as iconic of character as Sokka to come in and like just be,
I ain't gonna lie, I feel like we're being picky now. I feel like we're being OD picky here, bro. This dude is not just a white person. Like, we can clearly look at this dude's face and be like, he's not just a straight up white person, whatever it is.
But you couldn't get a tan before they started filming, bro.
But why? Like, so to
be closer to the main character, the source material. That's what we here for.
I understand that, but it's never gonna be perfect, bro. Like, my thing is like, no, I look at it like this: we can't always just ride on this train, bro, and just be so picky about everything. Because, like, okay, let's say he was darker. Like, whatever, they got a tan. Somebody would have picked up on something else and been like, did something and been upset about it. So I just like, can we just be happy for once with like what it is that we have? It seems like they're genuinely trying to do what they can to like not only rectify that debacle of fucking M. Night Shyamalan shit, but it looks like they're really trying to stay true to the source material. They're clearly like hiring people that look as closely related as they could possibly get, potentially. You also have to look at it like, yo, you just can't hire anybody to be an actor because they look a certain way. Like, nigga, if you trash at acting, you know what I mean? They still gotta find somebody who can act.
To be fair, that did mess up the M. Night Shyamalan thing, because they definitely, the kid that played Aang was a better martial artist than he was an actor.
Yeah.
That was something that they did mention, was that they look for a kid that could do all the moves that Aang could do. I think that from what I saw, Appa and Momo look great. Flying on Appa actually looks like we're gonna get to see them do that.
The bending, nigga. The bending looked fucking like normal. Yeah. Like, holy shit.
Finally, the bending looks great. And I like the way the Kyoshi Warriors. I'm glad the Kyoshi Warriors are here.
Look good.
Like, the Kyoshi Warriors are here. They just, Kyoshi never even was a thing.
Well, it's a series. It's not a movie. So
yeah, so they got a little bit more
they get to do it. They get to actually run this shit like the way it is. And one more little thing about the whitewashing, and like, I'm not taking away anyone's opinions or views on it. Like, I get it. I do understand. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to like also open up their spectrum in the conversation. Just like, there's a lot of factors that go into this shit, and we got.
Yeah, but Sokka's like the only one that they messed up, and that's the reason why I think I'm annoyed too. Everybody
Katara's
else
still pretty.
No, but Katara looks like someone who was native. Like, Katara looks like I guess they're supposed to be based off like and I may be wrong here, but like native, like Inuit people of like the Yukon and everything like that. I think that's kind of what they're going for. And
then if
I feel
that's
like
the case, none of them really are that dark. They live in Antarctica.
But it's still, it's like, just when you look at it side by side with Sokka, it's like, come on, bro. Like,
I get it. I get it. I hear you. Right there. But let's also wait until we see more. This is one trailer. It could have been that scene. It could have been lighting. It could have been a multitude of things. So let's see what it looks like when we get there. Mm-hmm. I just don't want to go and have a big hee-haw about something when we got one trailer, bro. Like,
okay. Yeah, good point.
In this one trailer, we have to be satisfied. You get what I'm saying? Like, we got our justice done. Like, at minimum, bro, this shit looks like it's gonna be good. Like, we gotta be happy about that.
The trailer is better than all 90 minutes of whatever the hell M. Night Shyamalan tried to do. I'll give you that.
Exactly, bro. Like, and like, we also have to just be concerned because it is a live action. So it's like, you get what I'm saying? I feel like there are bigger things to be concerned about. Like, it's Avatar, beloved show. Amazing show. Everyone that watches this shit, we all understand how amazing this show is. Like, I feel like we should be more concerned. The bigger concern should be if they're gonna do this proper.
Yeah, I got you. I think Avatar has the potential to be our Star Wars. That's how I look at it, because the world is so vast, and they've done such a good job of creating the world that you can do so many different storylines. And even if you want to go forward with new avatars, if you want to go back in the past with old avatars, I'm reading the book now about
Can't wait for the new stuff to drop in the fucher, bro. When they start doing all the past avatars and Zuko and all. Dude, like, I can't wait for all of that. If
they even go into the storyline, like what was it? It was a graphic novel, I think, called The Search, where they it was like a 3-part graphic novel when they went and found Zuko's mom, Zuko and
Fire
Zuko's mom. Oh my god, bro. Code of Face Stealing. Oh, there was so much great stuff. And I need them to do that. I can't wait to see. And I love the way Uncle Iroh look. I can't wait to see Uncle Iroh fighting.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really like the way Uncle Iroh looked, just because, like, R.I.P. You know what I mean? Like, I think I was being a little biased, and I think that's all that is.
Okay, I got you. Well, February 2024, right around the corner, bro.
Yeah,
so we about to sit back and we getting blessed in 2024 right now. 2024 from a nerd anime like breakdown perspective, we getting blessed.
Yeah, so we gonna get some good stuff.
Cannot wait. But yo, AU, man, we about to slide on up out of here. Before we do, we gotta drop the hot take. And like we said before, we're gonna do the hot take from this week, and next week will be the hot take from last week. But just because it was a relevant situation, Scout Regiment Salute. It's an Attack on Titan finale edition of Hot Take Tuesday. How do you feel about the Attack on Titan final conclusion? 10 out of 10 masterpiece. Meh, it was all right, or hated how it ended. AU, my brother, which one did you go with?
I couldn't vote on this one. I felt like it wasn't a 10 out of 10, and it wasn't meh, and I didn't hate it.
Right,
you know what I mean?
So, you was somewhere in that in between.
Yeah, it was somewhere in that in between.
You a tweener. I said masterpiece because I thought it was a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. But and I'll be honest with you, bro. It kind of, felt like a lot of people felt it was a masterpiece. On Twitter, 72.2% said 10 out of 10 masterpiece. 16.7% said, meh, it was all right. And 11.1% actually hated how it ended. On IG, we had 68% said a masterpiece. 32% said, man, it was all right. And 0% hated it. And we got some
if you hated it, like I feel like somebody hurt, like, who hurt you? But like I can't say I hated it. I said I was dissatisfied, and I gave my little pieces on it, but I can at least recognize it was not something to be hated. Like,
yeah. Nah, I said the same thing. Like, hated was strong. Hated was real strong. But a couple comments here. Shout out to Big Foop at King with a V. Junis. Rewatched the finale yesterday, and I still think it was a solid ending to the anime. AOT has a special place in my heart, and it's sad it's over with the teary-eyed emoji.
It felt like it was over for me. It took too damn long. I felt that. But yeah, go ahead.
You're such a hater.
I'm not a hater, bro. Like, I'm not mad at people being sad it's over. I'm saying for me personally, it felt like it been over, bro. Like they killed my hype. Sorry, I'm gonna let it go.
As soon as the rumbling was about to happen, AU was like, "Nah, man, they just gonna hurry up and kill everybody."
That's how I felt. I'm gonna lie to you. Just kill everybody.
The last thing is shout out to Justin Thomas at J_Thomas_24. Shout out everybody over there at the Saratoga Sports Podcast. JT literally just hit us with like Connie from the Hormone Monstress from Big Mouth, and it was just a GIF that was beautiful. No notes from the scene where what's it called? Old girl screamed at her mom, and she was like, "No notes." That was so amazing. So shout out JT and like I said, all the boys over there at the Saratoga Sports Podcast. Like I said, I think for the most part, most people really enjoyed it, man. I really do. I think most people.
Everybody really should have. Like honestly, it really was like can't complain. There's a few things you can complain about.
I was about to say overall,
but I just mean overall. Like you can't just complain too much.
Yeah, it had the things that made us love Attack on Titan again, and had us think, and it made at least from my point of view, I was satisfied. I was satisfied and happy, and felt like I got a full on masterpiece. But yo, AU man, we about to slide on up out of here. Appreciate everybody that is listening as always. You already know. But AU man, before we go, you got anything you want to leave the people with?
You already know, baby. It's always a room on the couch.
Always. And as always, listen to us wherever you get your podcast. Rate us, review us. Check us out on our socials, on Twitter, on IG, and on TikTok at Couch Steelers. And subscribe to the Couch Steelers YouTube and hit that notification bell so you know when we drop something brand spanking new. All right, y'all. Appreciate you as always. We going to be back next week. But for right now, we out. Always room.
Peace.
Convention season is upon us. Whether you're hitting the panels or hanging out with your favorite content creators, planning for faster, more efficient hydration is essential. Liquid IV has you covered while you prep that cosplay, get ready for your favorite events, and recover after the weekend. So AU, what do you love most about Liquid IV?
Now, listen, I don't get hangovers, but I do wake up extremely groggy. That is not a joke. I do wake up groggy, but I do not get conventional hangovers. I'm tired. I'm groggy from the dehydration. Liquid IV is one of the things I buy every time I'm going to drink. Maybe one before I go to sleep. Maybe one when I wake up too. Honestly, it keeps me refreshed, keeps me hydrated after a night of going hard.
Yo, I appreciate that, man. One stick of Liquid IV in 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than water alone. It comes in 12 delicious, refreshing flavors to keep your hydration routine exciting. It contains 5 essential vitamins, including vitamin C, with 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. Made with premium ingredients, it's non-GMO and free from gluten, dairy, and soy.
Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code CouchSteelers at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code CouchSteelers at liquidiv.com.